Okay, second time's the charm. Everything seems to be working. Pro Tools, Waves, Universal Audio. So I'm going to load up the session and give you a little taste of what I'm working on. And yeah, had a great weekend. Went up to Virginia to our cabin that has been gutted and spent it just hauling trash and filling up a dumpster and getting up on a ladder, way too high for me to feel comfortable, but got up there. I have two Ring cameras up there, which are actually capturing video from a raccoon a lot lately, but the other side of it didn't have any cameras, so I got up on a ladder, like I said, way too high for me. I don't deal well with that. It's weird because I'm going up and down this ladder. I'm like, okay, well, it's an extension ladder, so it would probably be maybe, I don't even know, like 15 feet up in the air, 20 feet up in the air, 10 feet up. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, it freaks me out. I'm not good with heights. I don't mind being on a tall building. I have no problem being in an airplane, but like being on a ladder, I just feel like I'm just something embarrassing is going to happen to me. It's just going to, like, as I'm going up it, I feel like it's just going to fall over. Like I'm going to be part of the fail army or something. And then the worst part is I'm going to like break an arm or a leg and nobody's going to be filming it. So it'll be for nothing. But anyway, I successfully did that without injury. And today is Sunday. So happy Sunday. I don't know why I feel the need to wish everybody a happy day of the week, but I have been, so happy Sunday. Went for a nice run today, cooked some steaks and some fish. And what else? Yeah, so about to work on some music. This song is, I was thinking about waiting and like actually playing an acoustic version of it, the way that I've been playing songs in the basement, but I decided to just maybe try and play you some. So I don't know that you probably can't see the screen, but that doesn't matter. Hopefully you can hear it. So let's see here. I got drums back and I was listening to, I have some like MIDI. And so what MIDI is, if you don't know already, is it is like if you were to use a keyboard and play the notes, it would print the actual notes, the timing of it and the note that it was, and then you could apply basically whatever instrument you wanted on it. So like if you recorded it in MIDI, you could have it be a piano, you could have it be an organ, you could have it be a synthesizer, whatever. So I got a bunch of MIDI work here. Let's see if this can work. So I've been listening to the new drum tracks to make sure all of the parts kind of fit. All right, so that's just the MIDI and the drums. And let me just take all of so I've got them soloed out, so you only hear the MIDI and the drums, but let's see what it was with all of it. And this is just scratch vocals.
A fall breeze passes through the trees, and we're laying on our backs like we did when we were kids, finding animals and clouds adrift like passing ships. On forever, making up for lost time that I missed with you. Spend the seconds of a sunset gaze. I can turn back time, but I can stay with it.
So you can hear like parts of it on their own. The whole thing. I really like, I call this the mid-verse twinkle. so I still have some parts that I need to replace. So basically, from the last video that I did, I talked about doing like a scratch track, get the structure down, kind of hammer it out, chop it up, figure out how I want it to work. Then the next piece that I didn't used to do is like take that and then practice it and even play it out live a bunch, and then really get comfortable with it. So I'm very comfortable with the structure right now. The only thing I'm thinking about doing, which I mentioned in the last video, was at the middle part where there is a quiet part. When I play it acoustically, which I think maybe that's what I'll do this week for like the song that I do in the basement. I will do this song, but there's an a cappella part, and so I'm thinking about maybe after this.
You know life's funny like this. You're chasing down something you never quit. Sometimes to speed up, make up ground, you gotta slow down.
So where that comes in big is actually where I do an a cappella part. So I'll try it out. Well, maybe I can even do it now. So technically all that is I think if I do that chorus twice through, is that instead of bringing the whole band in, whole sound in, is I just now run forever, making up for lost time that I missed with you, or I'll lie here forever. 2, 3, 4, and then have everything come in. So I don't know, we'll see. That might be kind of cool even on the recording, which is not that what's the word I'm looking for? Conventional, but maybe that's okay. Maybe it doesn't matter. So that is this song. It's called Making Up Time, and I'll probably talk about the meaning of it when I play it acoustically. But yeah, I was kind of just fascinated by that idea of feeling like you missed out on time. Kind of like the way that, like, let's just say I was on a road trip and I was trying to get there as fast as possible, but I got a late start, or I had a flat tire, and I still need to get there at a certain time. So it's like, really my only option is to drive faster, to make up time to get there. But like with relationships, sometimes it's like trying to go faster or pushing things isn't always the best way to kind of get to the destination. And weirdly, I don't know why this connection is with, so I was never really a soccer player. I played like JV soccer, but I remember the coach for Fillmore, New York Fillmore Eagles, Jamie Mullen. I remember he would always talk about you got to play back to go forward. And I think about that sometimes in life. I'm a computer science guy. I love problem solving. And it's weird because like a thing like that said to you, which is like very counterintuitive, right? You think you always have to push, but like the idea of to play back to go forward, meaning like in soccer, you might have to do a backwards pass to then, move forward. And I know basically nothing about soccer, but the concept of that really resonated with me. And I've thought about it at various points in my life, and I think about it with this song. And that's the whole point of this song, which is like, either if you're trying to make up time with someone, you can either like sprint and be willing to sprint, or you're willing to just kind of stop everything and just be there. And the answer is probably somewhere in between, but that's kind of what this song is all about. So yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to finish it up. I've actually changed the key of this a few times, so that's another big epiphany for me in the last 20 years as I've made music, is when I would write a song, if I was to just kind of play it, that was just how I did it, right? So I just if I wrote it that way, strummed the chords, that's what I did, and just sang it. But now what I've been attempting to do is play around with the keys, right? So, just move it down a half step or a whole step or 2 whole steps and just kind of see how my voice fits with it. I'm not trying to make it easier on me, but I think what I was doing when I was younger was if I was forcing my voice a lot and I was like either screaming or really like trying to hit certain notes, I felt that was me trying harder, and that was like, oh, I was willing things because I was working hard. And at the end of the day, I now believe is that writing songs and performing them and recording them, you're trying to capture a beautiful performance and moment. And that's not necessarily when you're stretching yourself beyond what you're comfortable with. It doesn't mean you don't do that at times, but I guess what I've kind of realized is that where my voice fits in, like, I don't know what you might call it, the pocket, like my pocket is a certain place. And when I'm singing that way, I just think it's better. I think it's more natural. I think it's more believable, and it's more honest. So I've been trying to, I mean, I guess what happens is that like I record a song and I just want to get it done. I just want to I want to justify the beard and long hair and put a new song out, or just I want to be like done with it because I'm anxious. Whereas now what I'm trying to do is like, okay, all right, you wrote a song. Like, is it as good as it can possibly be? Like, maybe try it in a few different keys, and you may come right back to the key that worked best. But like, just try it. You got your own studio here. Why wouldn't you like try it? And there's been a couple of times the last few songs I have basically had done, including this one, where I've had to like, okay, I love it. I think it's cool, but try it down a step. Try it down a half step, whole step. Try it down 2 steps. Okay, that's not good. Then try it down a half step or whole step. And you're like, ooh, that's definitely better, and you're going to enjoy singing it more. It's going to be more fun to sing, and so I'm a strong believer in that now, and I would suggest that to anyone, especially if you have the tools at your disposal to just try it a different way. Try it a few different ways. I remember, I don't know what song it was. It might have been Coffee in the Morning. Ryan Salazar, strangely, has become a friend of mine. He was the original bassist for Third Eye Blind, and he was an XEB, and I was able to play with them. And we've kept in touch. And I remember sending him a mix, and I was asking him about something, and he was like, well, what we used to do is like, if you're questioning the drums, we would do like, just the drums as a whole, like down a decibel, and then down 2 decibels, and down 3 decibels, and then up a decibel, and we would listen to all of them. And I thought to myself, like, yeah, of course. Like, why wouldn't you take the time if you're wondering about a part of a song? Like, why wouldn't you just like take the extra little effort to try it a few different ways? Kind of a mentor / friend of mine, Tom Ruff, I was asking him, because I wasn't formally trained in music, and I was asking him about like, well, how do you know like when you're trying to EQ something, like where you have a problem? And when he said, well, like take that EQ and move it until you can kind of pinpoint where the problem is and make the problem worse, right? Like, oh, I found where I can make what I'm hearing the problem worse, and then back that down to 0, and then down a little bit more, and you're like, that's your sweet spot. So take it until it makes it worse, and then bring it down. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So same thing with levels and mixing, is that like, if you're not sure about something, maybe try and find a way to make it worse, so then you can back it down to kind of to make it good or great and solve the problem. So I don't know if any of that was interesting or helpful for you guys, but if you're a songwriter or working on songs, I think they always talk about like going that last 10%, right? And I think some of these things that I brought up are things that I didn't do. that I wish I was able to tell younger me about. So if anything, me telling you, hopefully that helps you. That's what I've really been focused on as I got older as a songwriter, and recording my own stuff, and not being in a different studio. So basically it's on me. So some of those things are disciplines that I have to do to say, like, dude, you haven't tried XYZ, so at least try XYZ. You might still do exactly what you have now, but at least try, because if it makes it just like 5% better, it's worth it. So anyway, I feel like I just rattled off a lot, and hopefully it wasn't total nonsense, but that's how I approach things. Hope you guys are well. Happy Sunday night, and I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.